spoilers. Hey guys, what up? It's been a while, huh? I wanted to make more videos sooner, but about 5 months ago I went and laid down in my bed and it was really comfy, so I didn't really feel like getting up until just now, so you know how it is. Anyway, Scream 7. It sure is a movie. It sure has some stuff in it. Things sure do happen. Yep, that's right. Of all the horror movies I have seen, Scream 7 is without a doubt one of them. You know, if that intro isn't an accurate depiction of how this movie is, then I don't know what is. Scream 7 is a 2026 slasher horror movie directed by Kevin Williamson. It stars, these people. I was given the choice to see either this or Iron Lung. I should have seen Iron Lung. First of all, this isn't really the movie's fault or anything, but seeing this in theaters might possibly have been the worst viewing experience of my entire life. Not because the movie was truly that bad, but because there was a middle-aged lady sitting right behind me talking at the movie the entire time. When the Ghostface guy showed up, she yelled at them to run, as if her screaming made the characters suddenly get the urge to run faster. At one point there was a jump scare that appeared on screen. I wasn't affected by it because, you know, I'm nonchalant like that. But the lady jumped and went, and I'm quoting this, "Oh, shoosh," like she's in a 2016 YouTube poop video.
Swouse.
I actually had to move seats because of her. Luckily, I was able to better experience the movie after that. Unluckily, the movie I was watching was Scream 7, so, you know, it's not like I had been missing out on much. I almost missed her little jabs. Her stupid rants were the only things in that theater that actually made me feel something. But I guess I should probably talk about the less interesting part of my day. The movie itself. Well, let me first iterate that I did not have high expectations for Scream 7. If you watched my Scream movie ranking video, which you totally should by the way, it's really good and stuff, you'd know that I thought the latest entry was just kinda okay. I wasn't really sure what to expect with the 7th entry when it was announced. And then they fired Melissa Barrera. And then Jenna Ortega left. And then the director left. And at that point I thought, okay, so that's it, right? We're done? It's all kaput? Nope. We're dragging Neve Campbell back into the well and making her do another one? Cool, I guess. Totally not kinda stupid, because in Scream 6, Gail literally looked into the camera and said, "Sydney deserves a happy life." They really should have had her then say, "Unless the studio really, really wants her back." Then, I'll be honest, I didn't really follow much of the rumors and stuff following the movie's production, but apparently Stu was coming back for some reason. Okay. The secondary villain from the first movie, who we very clearly saw die. Awesome. Are you guys sensing a pattern here? It all just feels a little like treading old ground. Say what you will about Scream 5 and 6, but at least Radio Silence tried to bring new life into the franchise. They didn't just regurgitate the plot points from the first movie and call it a day. They actually put in an effort to make some risky decisions. Now, granted, when it came to those decisions, there were some hits and misses. That's just what happens when you tinker with an already established franchise, but dude, I kept hearing things about Scream 7 like, "Oh, they're bringing back so-and-so! Oh, they're bringing back the other guy! Oh, they're all coming back! We're doing this for you, the fans! This movie is for you!" And it all just felt desperate. To put it plainly, upon entering the theater, I was not really expecting much. And you know what? I was right on the money, because if I was to describe this movie in 2 words only, it would without a doubt be, not much. I will say, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. Hell, I don't even think it's the worst Scream movie. To those of you who are saying it's one of the worst horror films of all time, that's really cute. You have clearly not watched as many bad horror movies as I have. There's nothing about this movie that I would say I passionately hate, but on the other hand, I can't pick out a single thing that I really like either. This movie is just whatever. The characters are whatever. The plot is whatever. The acting is fine. The kills are they're okay, I guess. Sydney and her daughter are fine, I suppose. The dad was I don't know, he was there. I thought it was kind of funny how they wrote Sydney's other kids out of the movie because, I don't know, I guess they didn't feel like dealing with them. The friends were there. I don't know, I don't even remember their names. Mindy and Chad were back, which was cool, I guess. Ghostface didn't kill either of them when he very easily could have, but hey, that also happened in the last movie, so whatever. The boyfriend was like, yeah, I don't know, never mind. Well, I guess it's time to bring up the stuff other people hate. Yeah, maybe it's finally time we talk about the fact that they had the killers of this movie use AI deepfakes of previous killers to toy with Sydney, mainly using Stu Macher. Now, if my reading of the internet's response is correct, most people's reactions to this were violent. Me, I was just sitting there thinking, so they somehow found pictures of Stu Macher, Mrs. Loomis, and Roman Bridger, used them to create seamless AI deepfakes of all three of them, which perfectly replicate their likeness, used only one of those three deepfakes for about 90% of the time, all just to, I don't know, throw Sydney off her game? Huh. Well, it still makes more sense than Scream 3. I will say, if there's one thing this movie does the worst job at, it's the villains. Congratulations, Roman. You are no longer the worst Ghostface. Psycho Mother and random mental asylum nurse take the cake without a doubt. It's actually kind of crazy how far we've strayed from the original movie. We've gone from the main character's lover turned vengeful killer, working with his psychotic friend who's only in it for the love of the game, to Sydney's neighbor who's mad at her for moving, and other guy. You see, I look at all of this stuff, and I really should hate all of it, but I think on it more, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really make me feel anything. It was probably because of my already low expectations, but still. Like, wow, the killer is using AI deepfakes of previous killers. Is that really dumb and fan servicey? Yes. Did I expect more? Nope. Oh, the killers in this movie are a bunch of nobodies with paper-thin motivation. Is that really boring and underwhelming? Yes. Did I expect more? Nope. Oh, Gail has once again reverted back to her previous ways after supposedly learning better in the last movie. Is it disappointing that she survived? Yes, very much so. Did I expect more? Nope. I swear, I don't know how Scream fans like Gail. She is literally just a fucking grifter at this point. Also, let me say, I like the Scream franchise. I'm not like a diehard fan or anything, but it's got some good movies. To all of the people who are diehard fans of Scream, let me ask you this. Did you really want them to bring back Stu? Did you really? Why? Look at how they did with original Ghostface killers. Do you really think this team could have properly executed Stu's return? Not to mention that would just be so stupid. The part where the villain looks at Sydney and is like, yeah, no, Stu's dead, lol. You actually thought he was alive? Is a moment I actually kind of like, because I feel like some people in this fandom kind of need to hear that. Guys, Stu died. Okay, he died. We literally watched it happen. Like, how is this a debate? Who is looking at this and going, well, yeah, you know, it's really up in the air.
Oh, but Crusader, people survive horrible life-threatening injuries from Ghostface all the time in this franchise.
Well, yeah, and it's stupid when that happens too. You think I wasn't shaking my head when they turned Sydney's husband into a human pincushion, left him to bleed out for literal hours, just to pull him out and see that he's still alive? Don't worry, I was. But I feel like retconning Stu's death would be especially head-scratching.
But Crusader, we need to bring back Stu so that he can be the face of Scream. Scream needs to have a big bad in the franchise, and Stu would fit perfectly as the man who was pulling all the strings of the previous killers from the other sequels. It would be so peak.
Yeah, no, that's really stupid. In the first Scream movie, Stu was just Billy's minion. He was a charismatic minion, and Matthew Lillard did a really good job playing him, but he was never the big bad, even in the movie he was actually alive in. What makes you think he would fit as the Joker to Sidney Prescott's Batman? This franchise has always thrived from having a different villain in each movie, and that's how it should stay. If the next Scream movie we started knowing who was behind the mask of Ghostface, we would lose a major amount of steam. But that raises another question. Should there be an 8th Scream movie? Well, judging from the quality of this one, no. Throughout this entire movie watching experience, all I kept thinking was, this all feels tired. And I'm not saying that just from watching Scream 7. Scream 6 as well just gave me this feeling that this franchise is really starting to putter out. Like, yeah, it's cool we saw Ghostface rock the blicky, but like, now what? Hell, I really love Scream 5, but even I find difficulty justifying its addition to the overall franchise. I know there's really no such thing as a horror franchise having just enough sequels, but man, I think I speak for many when I say it's really past Scream's time. Well, for now at least. Maybe they'll reboot it in 20 years and have Sydney's granddaughter fighting a Ghostface robot or something, I don't know. But yeah, Scream 5 is, while not the worst it could have been, it still majorly flounders the potential of its hit franchise, making me question how long we really can keep these movies going. You're not even pathetic, Scream 7, you're just nothing. 5 out of 10. Alright, time to sit back and wait for Scary Movie 6 to come out. Wait, 6? I gotta watch 5 movies first?